Okay, welcome to Thursday. Don't forget to do your attendance check-in in all of your classes today. Every single one of them, you have to do your attendance check-in or you will be counted absent. And then remember tomorrow on Friday, we have a quiz. You will be taking a quiz in my class on Friday tomorrow. So keep that in mind. That's all you'll have to do. I think there's 5 questions on the quiz. It does have a time limit, but you have plenty of time to take the quiz. I think I'm going to give you, I don't remember how many minutes I'll put on there, but believe me, it's plenty of time for a 5-question quiz. And think about the types of problems that we've been doing this week. That's what will be on the quiz. And some of the problems that we're going over today, those type of problems, they don't take a lot of time to work. So plenty of time. 5-question quiz should be an easy Friday. Today we're going to talk about word problems, function word problems. And we're going to practice how do we solve functions with word problems. So let's get started. So go to Canvas, and you need to click on this big red button, Daily Attendance Check-In. Make sure you're doing that. That's always at the top, and then you can just scroll down to the bottom of the page after you finish that. And you're going to be working on function word problems right here. Okay, so let me switch my account really quick and see if it'll open this up for me. It doesn't always do it. I'd like to show you guys how to open it. It's not wanting to load. Let me try that again. Maybe it'll work for me. Maybe it won't. Give me problems. Look, it's not wanting to load. Of course, it never does what you want it to do, right? Let me try that one more time. Come on, switch account. You can do it. You can do it. It did it that time. 3rd time's a charm. So this is when you land on this page, this is what you should get. You need to open the assignment. It's important that you click the open assignment button. Yes, you can click here and it will open this file for you. But if you don't ever click the open assignment button, you never see the submit button. And that's what's super important. So I prefer for you to click open assignment. Here's your submit button when you get finished. Now open the file that you actually need to work in. So here we go. Type your answers in the text boxes provided. You can use Desmos, so that's a pretty big clue. You're going to need to use Desmos. So if you click here, it'll open Desmos in a new tab for you. So now you have Desmos open. So you have 4 tabs open. I know it's a lot just to work on assignment, but so we're going to go down to the next page. I'm going to zoom in so we can see. Function notation word problem. So some of these word problems should look familiar. We did these word problems a couple weeks ago when we were learning how to write equations from word problems, but this time they've given us the equation, so it should look pretty familiar. Tyler researches local plumbers to fix a kitchen water leak in his house. Amazing Plumbers, do you remember Amazing Plumbers? Charges $35 an hour each with an initial fee of $50. Tyler uses this equation. Notice it says C of H. So C of H. So what's in the parentheses is your input, which is usually X, but they're using H in the place of X this time. So C of H equals 35H plus 50 to determine the cost of his repair. That is actually the equation that we wrote, except we just put C equals. So now they've given it to us with this function notation. They're telling us this is a function. What is the cost of the repair if it takes 6 hours to complete? Okay, so we have worked some of these problems before. So what they're actually wanting me to do is they're telling me what is the cost of the repair if it takes 6 hours. They're telling me a value for H, right? So they're giving me an input. So what I really want to know is, what is C of H? What does C of H equal? Now we could do this by hand, or remember, if we're given an equation, we can do this in Desmos. So we actually have to tell Desmos up here. We have to tell it what the function is. So we have to come up. Now, I'm going to try something out, but I'm pretty sure Desmos does not like H. Okay? It might, though. It might. Well, I think I wrote it down. 35H plus 50. It might. I thought we had to change the X, but Desmos might be even smarter now than it was before. So remember, just don't use capitals, use lowercase. So C of H equals 35H plus 50. We want to know what is C of How many hours did they give us? 6. Whoops, I typed that in the wrong spot. Desmos likes H now. That's great. We don't have to change everything to X's. That's even better. Notice what it's telling me. What's my output going to be? If my input is H, 6 hours, my output is going to be, remember, this is representing his cost. So the cost is going to be $260. So we could put $260. Okay. So now they're saying, well, what's the cost of the repair if it only takes 3.25 hours? Okay, so remember, hours is your input. That's what's in your parentheses. So over here, I just need to come back now and say, well, they didn't work 6 hours. What if they only worked 3.25 hours? Oh, well, it's $167 and $163.75. So here's what I don't even mind if you do. Boom. Just give me the amount, $163.75. What's the cost of the repair if it only takes 3/8 of an hour to complete? Oh, well, now, Desmos, it didn't even take 3 hours. It didn't even take a whole hour. So I need to type in a fraction. So the easiest way for me to show you that, since we're not in person, is for you to come down here, do this little keypad, expand it, and do 3 divided by 8. And then you can close out. Whoops, I don't actually need to do that. I need to go back. I have to click on the side here and do my in parentheses. You don't even have to do the in parentheses. So what did it tell us? 63.125. Now, we're talking about money here, right? We're talking about cost. So would you actually give me 3 decimal places? You shouldn't. You should round that. So how much money is that? 12 cents? 13 cents? Well, so you want to round to this one. So you look at the place next to it. 5 or more up the score. So it's 63.13. I know y'all are not. Generally, you guys are not great at rounding. $63.13. Okay. How easy was that? How easy? We used Desmos. Let's look at this next one. This equation should look familiar too. Jacqueline decided to use Southern Floral to provide flowers for the high school prom in April. Remember, she's going to agree to sell, Southern Flowers has agreed to sell flower arrangements, which we're calling A, for $60 each with a $5 delivery charge. So the function Jacqueline used to determine the cost of flower arrangements is C of A equals 60A plus 5. What's the cost for C of 21? So they're telling you if you have an input of 21, which what is our input? A, which they told us stands for arrangements. So they're actually asking you, hey, how much is it going to cost Jacqueline if she buys 21 flower arrangements? So let's go put our function in Desmos. Remember, you have to tell Desmos what the function is first. You can't just start typing C of 21 and expect Desmos to know what you're talking about. It needs to know the entire function. So C of A equals 60A, plus 5. Desmos has got to know the function, and there it is, and it's giving you the picture of it. Okay, so then they told us to find C of 21. Boom. That's a lot of money. $1,265. Woo! Now, notice I didn't use capitals here. I don't know. Desmos has updated. So the thing is, the reason why I tell you don't use capitals, because look, if you put a capital here and you don't put a capital here, Desmos gets confused. So just always use lowercase and you'll be fine. So $1,265. Lots of money. Flowers are expensive, actually. What is the cost for Jacqueline to purchase 75 flower arrangements? Oh my gosh, she purchased 21 and it cost her $1,200. So what if she's going to purchase 75 flower arrangements? Notice they are giving you inputs. So we're plugging in for A here. What if she purchases 75? Well, $4,505. That's a lot of money. And guys, I'm okay if you just give me the amount. I don't even care if you put the C of 21. What is the cost for 17 flower arrangements? So again, they're still giving me inputs. I just need to swap out my numbers here. So if she buys 17, well, it's $1,025. Look, how easy is this, right? Whoops, I should have done 25. $1,000 and $1,025. Desmos is doing the hard work for us. So nice. So very nice. Okay, here's another one. Whoops. Let me go back to number 3, please. Robert looks to find train tickets to travel from Dallas, Texas to Houston. Cowboy train. Who takes trains anymore, really? I don't know. Cowboy train. I've wanted to take a train ride, but never had the opportunity. Squirrel. I'm chasing squirrels again. Cowboy train offers deals whose costs are $23.75 per ticket T. So we're calling our tickets T, with an $11 processing fee. Cowboy train uses the function C of T. So the cost is a function of T, how many tickets you buy, is equal to 23.75 T plus 11 to determine the cost owed by each customer. And that should make sense, right? Our cost function is a function of T. So it depends on T. It depends on how many tickets. Your cost depends on how many tickets you buy, right? If you buy 10 tickets, it's going to cost way more than if you just buy 2. So that should make logical sense. What's the cost if Robert buys a ticket for 5 family members? Okay. So I need the cost. I need C of how many tickets did I buy? How many tickets? If he has 5 family members, he's going to have to buy a ticket for each one. So I need the cost of 5. I need to put an input of 5 in for my ticket function here. So let's go back up to the top. Remember, we have to erase everything. And I got to say, well, now I have a new function, Desmos. It's C of T. It's the cost of tickets equals $23.75 plus 11. Whoops, I forgot to put my T in there, guys. You got to put your variable. It's not going to know what you're talking about. And now I need to know, what is the cost of 5 tickets? So this is, remember, what we're doing when we're using Desmos is we're telling Desmos plug in 5 everywhere there's a T. So Desmos comes over here and it says plug in 5 right here. 23.75 times 5 plus 11. And it tells us the answer. 129.75. So 129.75. $129.75. That's not too bad for 5 people to ride a train. That's a long train ride too. 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 hour train ride. Yeah, that's not too bad. Okay. What is the total cost if Robert buys a ticket for 12 family members? So instead of 5 people now, he's got 12 folks riding this train. So let's see here. C of 12 equals, well, 296 is what it's saying. So Desmos plugged in 12 here for us. So we should put $296. Are y'all getting this? About this time you may be like, Miss Robinson, I don't need to watch this video anymore. I can do this on my own. So that's awesome. So if we want to put this in function notation, we're actually saying C of 12 equals our function evaluated at 12 equals 296. Okay. So what does Cowboy Train charge for C of 8? Okay, so now they're saying, well, find C of 8. You'll know you can triple click in these text boxes, 1, 2, 3, and it'll highlight the whole thing, and then you can just type over it. So you don't have to backspace, backspace, backspace. What does C of 8 equal? So how do we know? Well, that's telling us to plug in 8 into our function. So instead of T now, we have 8 here. So we need to plug in 8 over here, but let's let Desmos do that for us. C of 8 equals 201. Okay, so $201. That's how much it costs to buy 8 train tickets. So I have worked 3 of these problems with you. I think what I'm going to do is number 5 gives you the function. Those right here. I know it's a little blurry. I hate that it did that, but it made it a little blurry. Number 6 does not give you the function. So you actually have to write the function. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work number 4 with you. I'm going to write the function, and I'm going to leave you to work 5 and 6 on your own. So on 5, this is just like what we were given up above. And on 6, you have to write the function, and then you have to work out some stuff. So I'm going to leave you to do 5 and 6. I'm going to do 4 with you. I'm going to write the function with you here. So Henderson ISD offers rides and admittance to the Friday night football game in Pine Tree. The high school charges $5 per ticket and a travel fee of $10. So what is the function that represents the total cost, C, of purchasing T tickets? So we're supposed to write a function named C. And what is our variable going to be? What's our input going to be? What does our cost depend on? That's right. It depends on the number of tickets. So our function of number of tickets equals, well, what do we have to pay? Well, we know we have to pay up here $5 per ticket. So think about, is that 5 plus T, 5 times T, 5 divided by T? What does that word per mean? It can vary. Sometimes it actually means multiplication. Sometimes it means division. But I want you to think about this. If your tickets are $5 a piece and you buy 5 of them, how are you going to figure out how much money you owe? You would multiply, right? 5 times 5. If you have 5 tickets, $5 a piece, and you buy 5 tickets. So we actually need to multiply 5 times, that's per ticket means multiply, times T, however many tickets we buy. But remember, we have to add on, and I don't really like using T's because they look like plus signs. So just keep those straight. Those are T's. We have to add on this fee. Aren't they charging us a fee that we have to pay no matter what? You always have to add on your fee. Don't forget about that. So 5T plus, let me put some spaces in here so this is easier to see. 5T plus 10. So there's our function. We just wrote it, right? And we've written these equations before, so you should remember how to do that. Now they're telling me to find, well, then what's C of 7? What does that actually mean? What are they asking me to find? C of 7. That means instead of T over here now, they're telling me to put in 7. So that must mean I bought how many tickets? I bought 7 tickets. So let's let Desmos figure this out. We could do that. So C of T is equal to 5T plus 10. And then we could come down here and say, hey, Desmos, notice I didn't use any capitals. I used all lowercase. C of 7 is what they're asking me to find. So what is C of 7, Desmos? It's 45. So my answer is $45. Now, we could have done this in our brain, couldn't we? If you know that your tickets are $5 a piece and we buy 7 of them and we have to pay a $10 fee. So isn't that 7 times 5 is 35 plus the $10 fee is $45, okay? So I want you to understand what you're doing here with this function notation should make common sense. It should be common sense in your brain here. John is purchasing tickets for his family of 4 and his brother's family of 6. What is the total cost, C, for the purchase? So they didn't actually say, plug in this number for number of tickets. We got to figure out how many tickets are we purchasing here. Well, he's going to purchase 4 tickets for his family of 4. So that's 4 tickets. And he's going to purchase tickets for his brother's family of 6. And I think that includes him and his brother. So how many tickets is he purchasing total? A family of 6 and a family of 4. Well, 6 plus 4 is 10. Yep. So we're actually looking for C of 10 here. This function evaluated with 10 tickets. We can do this in our brain. Let's do it. This means we're going to plug in 10 for T over here. So I'll write this out. C of 10 equals, it actually equals 5 times, instead of T now, 10, plus we have to tack on that $10 fee. So C of 10 actually equals what? Well, 5 times 10 is 50, plus 10 should be $60. He's going to have to pay $60 for tickets to the football game. Okay, so that only leaves you with number 5 to do, which is very, very similar. Just pay attention to what they're telling you X represents, okay? So the ones we did above, and 6. And 6, you have to write the function, and they're telling you to use P and then use H as your 2 variables. So try those on your own. I think they're going to make just common sense in your brain, hopefully. And if you have any questions, let me know, or join my open conference office hours from 10:30 to 12 today. I'll be available to answer any questions you have, okay?